Buying a brand new home sounds exciting, but did you know that there are some costly mistakes that you could find in the fine print of the new construction contract? If you're not careful, you may end up paying way more than expected. In this video, I'm sharing the biggest mistakes buyers are making and how you can avoid them. Number one, not understanding what's included versus upgrades. One of the biggest mistakes, assuming everything in the models that you just saw comes standard. Builders love to load in a lot of upgrades in their models so that they could showcase the capabilities of what they could do. But all those upgrades are not included in the standard. As your buyer's agent, after the buyer's consultation that we usually do in person here at the office or via Zoom, we will then go to visit some of these new communities and walk through their models. Every time I do a model walkthrough, it is my job to point out all the different upgrades that the builder has made that are not included in the standard. All of these models that these builders showcases have a lot of upgrades in it. And to put it into perspective, that could range anywhere from 30 to even 50% of the base price. A lot of these models would have beautiful featured walls, and all of these walls covered in wallpaper or a wood paneling or a tile. All of that are upgrades that cost additional and are not included in the standard. It is very important for your buyer's agent to explain and identify all the things that are an upgrade and how much these upgrades cost and what's included in a standard base price of that particular floor plan. Typically, builders have standard carpet in most of all the rooms except for tile in the wet areas and in the kitchen areas. There are standard tiles included in the base price. Now, if you are looking to upgrade these tiles, that would be an additional cost. And those are the things that you'll be discussing in the design center appointment. There's also standard carpet that comes included in the base price, as well as upgraded carpet with extra padding, extra material, different look and texture that will be an additional cost at the design center. When you're looking in the luxury segment over $1 million, some of these builders have a lot of these structural upgrades of a home that is included as a standard package. Let me just give you an example. There is a luxury community called Ascension in South Summerlin by two builders, Toll Brothers and Pulte Homes. I have a lot of buyers that reach out to me specifically because they're interested in that particular community. Now, Ascension, because it is a luxury product where the base price is starting around $2 million, a lot of the structural and design finishes that may be an upgrade in other communities are actually standard in these particular communities. As an example, for Toll Brothers communities, their appliance package standard is the Wolf appliances. So as you may know, Wolf is a very luxury brand, high quality appliances that would usually be an upgrade in other communities. However, for Toll Brothers in the Ascension community, Wolf appliances is considered a standard package. There are other structural items such as for one of their floor plans with a pop-up ceiling, you have a 16-foot ceiling height. And that would be an additional structural upgrade in other communities, but for Toll Brothers in the Ridgeline community, that particular floor plan comes standard with that 16-foot ceiling height. And you guys, when we walk through the models together, you'll be blown away because these 16-foot ceiling height is so massive. It makes the floor plan so much more open and so much more luxurious. It's definitely a wow factor. So before signing that purchase agreement, make sure you go through thoroughly with the builder and the sales contact along with your buyer's agent to really understand what the standard includes, what upgrades you would like to do at the design center, and also what upgrades you'd like to do structurally that needs to be in the purchase agreement. Pro tip, as your buyer's agent, if you have the flexibility, I would highly recommend doing a lot of these design upgrades after you close with the builder and doing it on your own. Just to give you an example, I have a lot of buyers that would do a lot of their upgrades after closing with the builder, and they would save thousands and thousands of dollars in doing it after because the cost is a lot more reasonable when you do it directly with a contractor after closing versus doing it with the builder during the construction of your brand new construction home. Builders add a significant markup to their cost. So just to give you an example, let's say a floor upgrade with the builder costs anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000. Now let's say you have the flexibility and you're okay with the standard carpet because you're going to rip that out after closing and do the flooring yourself. That might actually save you over 50% in cost to do it yourself. By the way, if we haven't met yet, konnichiwa, my name is Kaori Nagao, your your global real estate advisor helping you find your new home. Whether it's a new construction home or a resale home, anywhere in the world, I'll be more than happy to assist you. Remember, I have referral partners within my Sotheby's network in every market, in every city, so please reach out to me for any of your real estate needs. I'll be more than happy to address them for you. I love hearing from you, so keep engaging with me in the comments below. If you're thinking about making a move, let's connect. You can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can find my contact details in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and let's keep going. Number 2, skipping the contract review with your buyer's agent or an attorney. Builder contracts are not written to protect the buyers. I repeat, builder contracts are not written to protect the buyers. Let's take a moment to soak that in. Builder contracts are written to protect the builders. So it's very important for you as a buyer to have your buyer's agent, and in some states, an attorney to review these purchase agreements. Skipping a professional review could mean that you're signing off on things that are not in your best interest. Builders usually give you a window of 24 hours to 48 hours to review the DocuSign that they've sent to review for the purchase agreement. Now, these purchase agreements are pretty lengthy, right? These could be over 50 pages in length. So it's very important for me as your buyer's agent to sit down and review that purchase agreement page by page, whether it's in person or whether it's via Zoom. By going through the purchase agreement page by page, I will be able to identify and call out some of the important things. And most of these important things are usually noted in bold or in caps. Now, when we go through the legal terms, they're all usually in caps and bold. So it's definitely overwhelming, right? And you just kind of want to skip through those and gloss through those. But it's very important to read those line by line and take your time with it. Because again, these contracts are built coming from the builder's perspective, not the buyer's perspective. Some of the important things that I call out are the terms of the purchase agreement, usually in the first few pages. You want to make sure that you're agreeing to all the terms that you had discussed with the sales agent and with your buyer's agent. All the items that were negotiated are reflected on the purchase agreement. Make sure that the purchase price is correct, the lot premium is correct, the structural upgrade total is correct, the earnest money deposit, if you've made a wire or a deposit by check, that is also reflected in the purchase agreement on the first few pages. If you've also decided to work with the builder's lender, there may be a lender incentive that you agreed to. Make sure all that lender incentive information is in that purchase agreement. Just as an example, let's say you were working with a community by a builder that is offering 3% of the base price towards closing costs. Make sure that number is accurate on the purchase agreement. Make sure that total is accurate based on the base price of the home that you're purchasing. As you go through the purchase agreement, there's going to be a lot of different sections to cover, but I do want to make a point to make sure that you cover the section about third-party inspections. As you may already know, I am very passionate about inspections. Inspections protect my buyers. I want to make sure and ensure that the builders are providing a quality build for my buyers. There are 3 inspections that we conduct before closing here in Las Vegas and working with me. The first inspection is the frame walk inspection. Now, there are communities and builders that do not allow frame walk inspection. So make sure, if that's important to you, we want to identify that and talk about that with the sales consultant, because we want to make sure we're able to do the frame walk inspection before drywall. The second inspection is the third-party inspection that is conducted a few days before closing. This is very important, and it usually takes about 2 hours. I'm with my buyers all the time to go through that and go through the inspection report, which will then be emailed to the superintendent to make sure those are addressed before closing. Now, the last inspection that we do right before closing is the welcome home orientation and the blue tape inspection. This is a wonderful opportunity for my buyers and I to walk through the home one last time before closing. Many builders have a clause in their purchase agreement to talk about these inspections, and some builders require a 30-day notice in order to conduct these inspections. There are also different documentation that needs to be provided to the builder by the inspection company. So just to give you an example, those documents could be workers' compensation, insurance, liability, coverage. All of those things need to be addressed with the builder between the inspection company and be approved in order to schedule these inspections on time. Now, time is of an essence, especially frame walk inspection. We want to make sure we are fully prepared to conduct this frame walk inspection because the builder has a certain timeline to do the drywall and make sure the home continues to be built in a timely manner. So make sure you address all those items before you sign that purchase agreement. Now it's time for a pop quiz. I know you've been waiting for this. The first person to comment correctly will get a shout out on my next YouTube Shorts. Let's go. What do you think is the most important clause in a new construction contract? Let me know your answers in the comment below, and I will respond to them as quickly as I can, and we could have conversations about these topics. And lastly, number 3, not clarifying the timeline and the delay clauses. Many buyers assume that their brand new construction home will be delivered based on the schedule that was provided once we went under contract, but that is not true. Delays are common in new construction homes, and that could be caused by various items, such as weather, supply chain issues, as well as labor issues. As I shared with you in the beginning of the video, builder contracts are written to protect the builder. Check your purchase agreement for any delay clauses. Some builders give them unlimited time to finish your new construction home. Some builders will usually give a timeline, and I've seen 24 months, which is obviously a 2-year time frame to complete your new construction home. As you and I know, and what the builders will tell you, they will never tell you that a home is going to take 2 years to build. It's usually an average of 6 months to a year here in Las Vegas, but delays do happen, and that's why builders do not promise a certain day for closing. As your buyer's agent, it is very important for me to communicate with you what's going on as far as your home building timeline, and if we should expect any delay. And if there are delays, what our action plan is like. Let me give you some examples. I have a lot of clients that are now moving up to a bigger home where they need to sell their home in order to purchase a brand new construction home. In that case, we really need to work very closely with the builder to understand when their home and their replacement home will be ready so that we could time it accordingly to list their currently existing home to sell it so that there is a nice smooth transition from the sale of their existing home and then moving into their brand new construction home. Now, if there may be a delay, we may need to come up with temporary housing in between that gap. Maybe it's an Airbnb situation, or maybe for my clients, they may have friends or family members that they could stay with while there is a delay and once they have to wait until their new construction home to be completed. A lot of my buyers are also relocating from out of state. If they're renting and they're on a month-to-month basis, that is very easy and that is very manageable. However, I work with buyers who needs to be in Las Vegas at a certain time, and maybe that is because of their kids' school schedule, or maybe it's work related. If they have a certain time frame that they need to be here and their new construction home is delayed, I definitely need to find them a temporary housing solution. The good news is we have a lot of Airbnb options and hotel options here, so they could find housing if there is any unexpected delays for their new construction home. But as your buyer's agent, I want to manage expectations, so if there is any slight chance of a delay, we want to be mindful of it and talk about that and come up with solutions together. Would you be willing to wait a month longer for your new construction home? Comment below, I'd love to hear from you. Now, this doesn't happen often, but what if it was a reverse situation? What if your new construction home that you thought would be ready in a year is ready in 8 months? What would you do? And do you have that flexibility of moving into a new construction home that is ahead of schedule? Those are the ongoing conversations that you will have with me if you hire me as your buyer's agent. We have these open conversations to talk about different action plans. You know, we have plan A, plan B, and plan C. What ifs? We talk about these because in new construction home building process, things change all the time. And because we're counting on the builder to deliver a brand new home, there are so many factors involved that could expedite the closing of your home or delay the timeline of your new construction home. Buying a new construction home could be an extremely incredible experience for yourself and your family, only if you know what to look for in these contracts. If you like more tips on navigating through a new construction home purchase, make sure to check out one of my videos surrounding me. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for finding me. It'll make me really happy if you could smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're made aware of my weekly content. I am so close to hitting 10,000 subscribers, so feel free to share my videos with any of your friends and family. I really appreciate you finding my videos. I hope they're educational for you. I hope you could take the content from here and apply it to your new construction home purchase in any market in any city that you're purchasing. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I cannot wait to see you on the next one.